All right, so buckle up because today we're diving headfirst into the world of self-driving cars.
Or should we say,
Or should we say cars that think they can drive themselves?
there you go.
Yeah, we're tackling Tesla's full self-driving feature, all the headlines, the deal.
Yeah.
And we've got this mountain of data from the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, the NHTSA. And believe me, this is not your average parking lot fender bender.
No, not at all.
This is the real deal.
This is serious stuff.
So
yeah.
where do we even start?
Well,
I guess with the NHTSA, right?
yeah, the NHTSA is launching its 14th investigation into Tesla's FSD.
14th.
14th. This time it's about 4 crashes, all involving iffy visibility, think fog, blinding sun, even dust storms, and one of these crashes was fatal.
Yep, that's a big deal, right?
That's a huge red flag.
It has to be.
For sure. And you know what makes this even more concerning?
What's that?
Tesla's reliance on cameras for its FSD system.
Cameras only. Isn't that a bit?
Most other car makers are combining cameras with radar and lidar.
LiDAR, right?
Like radar, but with lasers.
Fancy.
Yeah, it creates this crazy detailed 3D map of everything around the car.
So Tesla's going minimalist with just cameras.
Exactly.
And everyone else is like sensor fusion all the way.
Bingo. They're betting big on their cameras and AI being enough for any driving condition. But these recent crashes, especially in those low visibility situations, they're suggesting there might be some holes in that approach.
Okay, see, this is where it gets interesting for me because I get the cameras are the future thing.
Sure.
But when I'm driving in a dust storm, I can barely see my own hand in front of my face.
Right.
How's a camera supposed to handle that?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
Yeah.
It all boils down to this.
Yeah.
Can a camera-only system really judge depth and distance in tough conditions?
As well as a system with radar and LiDAR.
Exactly. The NHTSA isn't so sure.
And these crashes are making them even more unsure, I bet.
Absolutely. This isn't just about the tech specs.
Right, this is about people's lives.
Exactly. If a driver has to be always ready to take over, especially in a dicey situation.
Like a dust storm.
Yeah, how self-driving is this system really?
It's not really self-driving then, is it?
That's the big question. And it makes you wonder if Tesla is pushing the limits of safety.
In the name of being first.
It's a possibility. And then there's the whole marketing thing.
Oh yeah, their whole full self-driving name.
Right. It's actually classified as a level 2 plus system.
Level 2 plus? What does that even mean? Is it like almost fully autonomous?
Not really. It's a bit of a gray area.
Okay.
Level 2 plus systems can do a lot. Steering, accelerating, braking, even changing lanes sometimes.
Sounds pretty advanced.
It is. But, and this is a huge but,
Okay.
they still need a human driver who's engaged and ready to take over at any moment.
So not exactly hands-free, eyes-closed driving then?
Not even close. It's more like
Like,
a really advanced cruise control,
okay.
but one that could potentially mess up.
And leave you to deal with the fallout.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's why these crashes are causing such a stir.
Yeah, I can see why. It makes you question if Tesla's being a little irresponsible.
Right, calling it full self-driving when it's clearly not. And here's the thing. This isn't just about a few isolated incidents.
So you're saying this is bigger than just Tesla?
Way bigger. Think about it. Tesla's FSD is currently available on millions of vehicles.
Millions.
Millions.
Okay, now those are some high stakes.
Exactly. And that's why this investigation could have a massive ripple effect across the entire auto industry.
Really?
If the NHTSA finds Tesla's system to be fundamentally flawed,
Yeah.
it could set a precedent for way stricter regulations.
Wow.
Not just for Tesla, but for any company developing autonomous driving technology.
So this could be a turning point for self-driving cars in general.
Possibly. And for Tesla,
Yeah.
the consequences could be huge. We're talking potential recalls, mandatory software updates, maybe even having to retrofit those millions of cars
Retrofit them with...
with LiDAR or radar systems.
Wow, a recall of that size would be unbelievable. Imagine the logistics, the cost.
Astronomical. And then there's the hit to Tesla's reputation.
Right, they've really leaned into this technology.
Their whole brand is built on being the leaders in self-driving tech.
It's like they're trying to catch up to their own hype.
Exactly. And this investigation, along with some other recent events like their robo-taxi reveal.
Which didn't really wow anybody.
Not really. It's making investors nervous. Tesla's stock price has always been tied to their self-driving promises.
And now those promises aren't looking so good.
Exactly.
It's crazy how this goes way beyond just cars and tech. It's about business and finance. It really shows you how high the stakes are.
Absolutely. And for Tesla owners and potential buyers,
Yeah.
this investigation raises some important questions like how much are they willing to trust a system that only uses cameras?
Especially after all this.
Exactly. And what does this mean for the resale value of their cars?
That's a good point. If I'm buying a new car and thinking about a Tesla, this investigation would definitely make me reconsider those self-driving features. But Tesla's not the only company pushing the limits with this technology. Where does this leave other car manufacturers who are also developing self-driving systems?
You're right, this investigation could impact the whole industry. If Tesla, with all their camera-only tech, has to make a big change,
Yeah.
it could be a wake-up call for other car makers.
Force them to rethink their own plans.
Exactly. And maybe even speed up the adoption of things like lidar.
So Tesla's like this giant experiment playing out in real time
Kind of. And the whole world's watching to see what happens.
to see if it crashes and burns,
Maybe. But it really highlights how important regulation is in all of this.
especially with technology changing so fast.
Exactly. The NHTSA's investigation could be a turning point.
You think so?
It might push for stricter safety standards and maybe even influence which technologies become the norm.
Which ultimately affects all of us, right?
Absolutely. Whether we're buying a car today or 10 years from now, these developments will shape the future of driving.
No doubt. So we've gone deep into the tech, the potential problems, the big picture. Where does this leave us? What's the takeaway for listeners?
That's a great question. I think the biggest takeaway is that fully autonomous vehicles are still a long way off.
Further than we thought.
Definitely. There will be more setbacks, more
And
challenges.
speed bumps, you could say.
Exactly.
But it seems like this technology is here to stay.
It is. And that's why we need to stay informed, ask questions, be realistic about what self-driving tech can and can't do.
Couldn't agree more. And on that note, I want to thank you for joining us on this deep dive into Tesla autonomous vehicles and the future of driving.
It's been a pleasure.
And to all our listeners, stay engaged,
Hmm.
stay informed,
Yeah.
and buckle up. It's going to be a wild ride.